Okay, I wanted to look very quickly at what the future of states like Texas is that are ignoring, not just ignoring, but invading uh, women's sovereign rights over their own reproductive health, their choices. Um, I'm really sick of this. It's something that's been going on a lot when we know full good and well that if any one of their female relatives were to have a pregnancy that uh, would somehow uh, be something that they weren't ready for, or they had a health issue, or it was a rape, you know, um, they would be the first ones, don't worry, that they'd be taken out of, state or whatever and get it done. They would not be wanting one. Will hurt women that don't have um, relatives that can make issues that come up, such as an unwanted pregnancy, uh, where there's health issues and God knows what else. Women should have that choice, what they want to do. Nobody wants to have an abortion, but sometimes it's entirely necessary. So, I just want to see with people like, for example, Texas. I am definitely putting Abbott on the hot seat here and using him and Texas as an example about, I just want to see what's going to happen. What is this? I'm just fed up with it. What is finally going to end up happening? They just going to continue this crap? Part of me just thinks, yeah, probably for the rest of your life. But let's just see if there's going to be any significant change. Any significant change coming to these states that are just hurting the women that live there. And overall, our nation as recognizing women as being the ones to say what happens to them and their bodies. It's kind of a really loaded question. Okay. I am using the Illusori deck. You can get it off Etsy. Okay, so this is the Six of Swords. What covers them is people leaving. Wow. Moving to go to places where they can have their rights considered. That's what I really feel. They leave behind. There'll be people that will leave that behind. Either they'll leave, and no doubt, if they can afford to, it becomes a matter of, can you afford the care? People have to go out of state. So it looks, but this looks a little bit more than just going out of state and then coming back. This looks like leaving a place that has a lot of contention and chaos in it and going elsewhere. So I think, despite the fact that right now, a lot of places go to Texas for business and have been going there, there could be a change in that. This could also be, and I hope for their sake they get somebody in that will put Texas going in the right direction. And I don't mean the extreme right. I'm talking about just being moderate. This is so extreme. So I think I'm being shown two things covering on them. States like Texas is that there will be more people leaving overall, is the message I get. And finding other places they that can move somehow will leave. It still leaves a lot of people that are poor just being punished for having harder and harder lives, taking more and more rights away actually from the least. Because trust me, these people, the women in their family, they have got excellent care, and whatever they want, they're going to be getting. They have a different, they're not affected by these laws. It's just really extremely fascist. The sun. This is what crosses them. Okay, sorry, there was a knock at the door. So, we have the sun. And it says also innocence. And it does usually have a child on it. This to me looks like this division of cells. Just the way this looks, it's like at the forming of when the cells are just beginning to divide. And it's not become a person yet. It's just a division of cells. There is something that is exposed. There's a lot in here, and I need to see the other cards that will come around it. Powerful card. There's clarity coming, and I don't think that conservative people are going to, and I don't say that nowadays when you say conservative, it's no longer just people that are conservative. It's unfortunately come to mean a bunch of people that have really become extreme. Doesn't mean what it used to. So I feel like the people that would say, yes, we must have these laws, but they themselves will never be affected by these laws. It'll just put somebody else that's in a bad situation worse. So I see people will definitely be leaving. I feel like they're not going to like this being pointed out. More people will leave. And for me, right now, I'm having a hard time believing that because economically, a lot of people are moving to Texas. There's a lot of business and stuff that is set up. But if they continue down this road of restricting women's rights, maybe it's going to blow up in their face, because I think this could be also businesses that leave. Let's just get a look at the cards that will be above and below. I'm using Texas as a example, but I'm including in other states that want to throw in these really cruel and antiquated ideas. They're stupid, these laws that are in no way, if they're going to do this, let's regulate men too, okay? It's ironic that people that want less government up in your business are totally all up in your business. Yeah, look, Four of Cups. This is people not being interested. And they are going to be judged for this restriction. And I think people are leaving. People will leave. I think there are businesses that could leave. I think it's going to affect them. Can you see that? I hate the noises this will make, so I'm sorry. So it looks to me, with that Four of Cups, there's a malaise. There's an indifference. You know, they don't care. It's not out of caring. We're shown that. This law is not because they care. Quite the opposite. It's shown indifference. They don't want to know. But it's going to come back on them, business-wise. Yes. I think a lot of people are going to start to wake up and say, that's going too far, that's it for me. And people that I feel like to do with business, you know, that have a bit more of an effect, if you will. Because that resurrection, that judgment, about their judgment, doesn't look too great for them. Queen of Cups. Well, this is very much, to me, women's reproductive health and motherhood. I feel like, and women having this right, more of a right to say, being more receptive in the past. Now, I think I'm being shown some places of business I do think are going to, as well as individuals, but they're going to look at that state and they're going to say, I'm not pleased with this. With what they're doing. And I think significant companies could end up pulling up. Significant ones. And sharing the reason why. Yes, this is strength. The Nine of Wands. Because it is simply creating hardship. For women. So there will be those that will be pressured. And I don't think it's going to take much. I think because the sun is there, it's just like, here's the truth. And people are not going to like what they're trying to do. It's not what they say that they're doing. It's not about them caring. It's a total lack of regard for actually the child. You know, being born that, you know, may have, you know, physical problems. I mean, you know, whatever the laws that they keep trying to put it further and further back. a heartbeat and that the woman has to have this done. People are going to say, yeah, there's going to be women in businesses that say, no, what is this? And it's going to really bother them. This is near future as well. It's just going to be seen as unnecessarily making women's lives miserable. And this is the Ace of Pentacles. To me, this is also that question, going back of like the heartbeat thing, and when it's just a group of cells, I'm getting that science aspect of it. Also a new start, a manifestation. This could be the new start of some laws that they're going to continue to try to bring in under people like Abbott. Yeah, this is business. So I see the start of business, a beginning where it's concerned, of places leaving, for sure. Or, I should say, and choosing not to go there. So they're going to have places leaving, businesses leaving, and businesses that would have gone there not going there. And it will start to hurt them economically. That's what I'm getting with that pentacle. It starts to hurt them there. 8 of Wands. Yeah, look, in the environment, there's all kinds of activity. There's people taking action, people moving, people leaving, like I said. I see people leaving, businesses leaving. There's a quick response, this is indicating. The more they start to bring in these laws, it's going to leave a bad taste in the mouth of business. Women, this is the Queen of Wands. Again, this is a feminine, intense energy taking action. They're afraid also that of women reclaiming their power, quite honestly, and coming for them. And I think that could happen. Prudence, 8 of Pentacles, see, hit them in the pocketbook. Then we see about something, this can be indicative definitely of the work scene, new businesses, hiring. This can even affect people that choosing what schools they go to, especially college age young women. And hopefully some men that think it's wrong as well. I'm sure there's some in there. But we see it affect a start here with the Ace of Pentacles. And by the end of it, we are up to the 8 of Pentacles. And it shows it's going to burden that state, not only by putting women in a very miserable situation, potentially, and it will affect some of them, but then I think financially the state is going to start to see a less than desirable effect in the working sector, in the labor sector. Let's pull a couple more cards with that 8 of Pentacles. Oh God, yeah, look, it's fallen, and there is worry with the 5 of Pentacles. So they start getting, these states will start seeing businesses pull up and move out. I think that's what it's going to take. And especially if they're pushing what is infringing on women's rights, they could then get, I think, get in trouble. That occurs to me. And the Ten of Cups. So we get, I think, economic issues. They're worried about the future, I think, of business coming to them, people wanting to being attracted to come there, because it's not a harmonic, wow, what's that? It is not a harmonious place at the end of the day. While the price might be good and this and that might be good, the mentality is oppressive. And people just are some people are just gonna avoid that. And it's gonna hurt them enough that it hurts. Okay, a couple more. Fighting, Knight of Swords, and the Page of Cups. It's a very immature. This is about children, but it's a very immature standpoint, because there's a lot of understanding, I think, science that they're rejecting, and just wanting to make it a contentious focus, rather than on the fact of what else they're not doing for the populace of that state. You know, I think it has, it's drawing a lot of necessary attention away from things that actually need care. They're making a point out of something that shouldn't be a point. They should be making sure that they have enough places for COVID, because they screwed that up too. In the hospitals. But here we have an actual, I think, people that respond back, that fight back. And it's going to leave these states with less business. That the more they try to push this agenda, the businesses that really, really create an economy, they're not going to, there's going to be a lot of them that pull out, that leave and go elsewhere. There's just too much drama in these states, and bad press, bad look. So yeah, there's like adventure. This is going to become very contentious. Of people, I think, not doing business, not bringing their businesses there. Very much. That is, I think, will be. Oh, hey, we got a kitty. It's going to be fought about. People will continue to fight back and say, the people that are there will also, I think, continue to fight back and say, that's way too restrictive. But part of what is going to really hurt them is the economic effect that I think will affect these places right in the pocketbook. There's the Nine of Swords. And because they're too restrictive, people are... and I think it's going to make them really anxious, because these are self-imposed restrictions that don't need to be there, okay? These are not necessary, but they put them there just to make things harder. And it makes things harder. Congratulations, but here's the deal, you know, miserable people And I think what will be shown is that there's an eye on the place. It's just information's going to come out about what's going on. People's response will be making the news. I feel that the devil, yeah, it's too oppressive. Creator, it's King of Wands with this very, I feel like with the King of Wands, the men that are creating these laws are corrupt, number one. Number two, they're going to start, I think, feeling, because they're greedy, upset that they're not getting the business, of course, that they want. But it's because of their own choice to, cause other people misery so that they can make profit off of, or some kind of gain for themselves while making other people miserable. That's what they have in place of government. Letting go. Again, people leaving. People leaving. Straight up leaving. Abandonment, neglect. That it's corrupt. The creators of these laws are corrupt. Might have to leave office. It might be exposed. Because what they're trying to pass is illegal, should be illegal and unconstitutional. There is disappointment. People leave. Businesses are going to leave. The things that they count on, because many times these states are very poor. Many of the southern states, the guys that make the biggest noise about people being on benefits, they are the ones that are responsible for these states not having the greatest employment. It's like they're on corporate welfare. And what I can say is I see that I'm getting something could be taken away. I think businesses will leave. Businesses will avoid investing and going there. So it's the almighty dollar, of course, that is going to make them sorry for pushing this. The Six of Cups, again, to do with some kind of nostalgic, faux, romanticized idea of things. Ace of Wands, Source. This action. These people don't know. They don't know half of what the crap they're slinging out is law. That's what I get. Wheel of Fortune. This will eventually become tempered in these places. But I feel like it's because it has to go back to Constitution, the source, okay? And that it's not constitutional. It's a nostalgic, somebody's ideas of some kind of fake yesterday. So the good news is, in the long run, these extremes that we're seeing are going to be tempered. But it could take like 10 years, That's something I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune. It could take years to temper this extreme point of view. But it'll start. And I think if they're hit in the pocketbook really hard over these next, I would definitely say 4-5 years, they're going to be looking to change that. The economy is going to suffer. Yep, wealth. And look, there was great wealth there once, and then we see it reduced to the 4. A miser. Things are very tight. Where once they were a flush, you know, with more business, more. Nope. That's going to reverse. So we'll see how they like that. All right. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be working on a video about MS and looking to see if there's a cure coming up. And we'll see how that goes. All right. Hope you're having a good Saturday.